Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am your sister Naomi Saif. Thank you for joining me today. Today's talk is going to be about salat. Our topic of the day is going to be about our prayer, inshallah. And I want to start off by reminding us that no matter what's going on in our lives, that inshallah we realize that no matter what, we should always make time for our deen. And our salat keeps us balanced. It is something that's beneficial to us. And so while we may be struggling in making our salats, focusing in our salats and in all issues pertaining to our salat, I pray that we at least remind ourselves that it is something that is beneficial to us and only us. So another point I want to remind, and the most important point is that salat is obligatory. So we have to get over it already. So we're struggling with it. We haven't made it. We don't make it on time. We do some, we don't do others. So let's forgive ourselves. Let's be patient with ourselves, especially if you're revert. And, take it step by step. Take it step by step. Don't take your failures as just, the theme as to how this is not always going to be like that. The way we approach salah is how we approach anything new or anything that we want to get good at, is that we have to practice. It'll get better the more that we do it. And it has to start from our hearts. We have to change our perception of the salat. If we have a negative perception of it, if we are looking at our salat as something that just imposes, if it just interrupts our life, it's just an inconvenience, I pray that inshallah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala soften our heart and that we just change our perception, because it is a mercy from Allah. It is not anything that Allah needs. So also with that is to remind us that we were created to worship Allah. That was the whole point of us being created, was to worship Allah, and we have free will. So unlike the angels who don't have free will and they worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala non-stop, we were created to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, it has to be a choice. We have to make the conscious choice. We can't wait for the day that we're going to wake up automatically and we're just going to have this this iman. And no, we have to invest into our deen so that our iman can grow. So some tips are what I call the 3 R's. And these are refuel, remind, and recommit. So the first one, refuel. I think about like a car, okay? Salat refuels us the way gas refuels a car. When you go to the gas station, most of us are drivers, or we know people who drive. And when we speak about getting gas, people might complain, or it's expensive, or blah, blah, but they do it. They do it, right? You never go to the gas station and people are all upset and crying. They just pull up, get their gas, and go about their business, We have to have kind of that approach to our salat. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, just do it. And why don't people refuse to put gas in their car? It's like common sense, right? If you don't put gas in your car, then you're going to damage and or be stranded. You're going to damage your vehicle, or you yourself are going to be left stranded. And that is very obvious when it comes to cars, but I don't think we realize that is the same thing in regards to our spirituality and our souls. We were created for prayer. We were created to pray. And the lack of prayer is one of the many reasons that so many of us are struggling with depression and stress and anxiety. We're not refueling. We're giving, but we're not getting anything back. And so we go into our salat to plug in and to, inshallah, refuel, remind. So salat, inshallah, is a reminder. It's in a world where people are so obsessed with dunya. They're so obsessed with the good times as if they're never going to end, the bad times as if they're never going to end. They are obsessed with creations, depending on who says or what, you know, like they depend on the creations to add value to their life, to dictate their life. And salat reminds us that no, this is temporary. This is temporary. Nobody lives forever. And none of us know when we're going to go. So, yes, live our lives. Yes, enjoy ourselves in this life. But salat balances us. And it's a reminder that this is all going to end. And that we should put forth work for the next life. And also it adds value to our spirit so that our souls can be much healthier while we're still here, inshallah. And then the last one is recommit. So salat, it's an opportunity to start over at least 5 times a day, to start over. Ya Allah, forgive me. Ya Allah, I pray for a new opportunity. It is an opportunity 5 times a day to reset yourself, to forgive yourself, to forgive others. You make wudu, and because that's where our salat begins, is with wudu, inshallah. And you start to go and prepare yourself for salat, and you recommit yourself to the deen, inshallah. You think about what you are about to do and what you are about to say. So inshallah, these 3 R's can be of a benefit to someone, at least in our perception of salat. And then when we have changed our minds and we have made a commitment to say, you know what, make dua, Ya Allah, help me in my salat. Ya Allah, I want to make salat on time. I want to make it. I want to learn. Then some type of plan needs to be put in place. Some type of plan. And for that, I have the 3 P's. The 3 P's for prayer. And the three P's are punctual, prepare, and purpose. So, inshallah, you've made the dua, the sincere dua and intention to take your salat serious and to make it. And even if you mess up, it's okay. Jump back in. Just jump back in. You're going to mess up in the beginning, especially. It's okay. Be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself. Remember, we have at least 5 times a day to reset. So, and that's minimum. Allah, His compassion surpasses His wrath. So, plan for action. You've made the intention, and the first thing is to be punctual. The Quran tells us to make our salats at an appointed time. At a point in time. Now we know, okay, well, I have to go to work. I'm in school. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Okay, it's only a few minutes. And if you had to meet with the President of the United States or your favorite whoever, you would make an exception. We would make exceptions for a few minutes to answer that phone call, to reply to that text message. We would make exceptions. So be punctual. Put a reminder on your phone or wherever, maybe perhaps an hour before salat, so that however much time you need to even prepare, that's enough time to excuse yourself from a meeting, to excuse yourself from class, to find a place of where you're going to pray. If you're in the car, like, wow, I need to find a masjid, or I need to find some place, that inshallah will give you enough time. And when you make it on time, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel really good. And that goes with the prepare, with the so punctual is making the sincere intention. And then prepare is setting your alarms. For sisters who aren't wearing hijab, make sure you have a scarf in your purse or in the car, or leave one in your office, and just commit to that meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody has to know about it. It's not gonna take up a lot of your time, inshallah. And then purpose. Purpose is to remind ourselves, why are we doing this? Remind yourself, we hear about these self-help speakers and these books, words of affirmations and things of that nature. No. The Quran is our affirmation. And we need to remind ourselves that, okay, it's going to be okay. Just affirm it's time for prayer. If I'm stressed out about something, I'm going to leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this salat, I'm going to, if you're in a bad situation, I'm about to get out of this place for a little while mentally, and I'm about to leave it in salat. Just thicker, and if once you start, inshallah, establishing some form of action towards your salat, you're going to see how empowered you're going to feel. You're going to feel so good when you start to make it on time. You're going to feel so good, inshallah, when you start coming to salat a little early and you have time to dhikr. You have time to do a sunnah, a rak'ah, a prayer. And you're also, when you fail, you're going to have something to refer back to. Like, it's okay. Yeah, I messed up, but it's okay because I did it before. It's going to be successful. The adhan calls us to success. The adhan, we're called 5 times a day to salat and to success. They are 2 in 1, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.